Hi, it's Beccatron, and today I'm redesigning the Kiss players from Transformers Kiss players. Wait, don't go. Okay, for those of you who are not in the know, Kiss Players is an infamous part of the Transformers franchise made in Japan that had a radio drama and a short-lived manga. Kiss Players is supposed to take place in between the 1986 movie and the third season of the G1 cartoon. As in Japan, season 3 of G1 actually takes place like around circa 2010s-ish, not around like circa 2006 like it does in America. And Japan basically had like a subsequent fourth season called The Headmasters, which was never imported to America, and the closest thing we got was a interesting dub from Singapore, I think. In America, the stuff dealing with Headmasters and Target Masters was primarily through the Marvel Comics, which actually lasted quite a long time after the show ended. But we're talking about Kiss Players, which is a Japanese-only part of the G1 continuity, which Japanese continuity gets a bit screwy. And let's leave it at that. Anyway, Kiss Players is, well, it's about like these, very young-looking and acting, for that matter, girls that power up Autobots by kissing them. And it's hated. Not just among Western fans, but Japanese fans as well. Some of the reasons why it's so hated is, well, there's a lot of pedophilia and rape imagery on girls that look like they're 8 but are supposed to be about 20 or something. Which, fun fact, according to the character designer Yuki Oshima, this was done out of pure shock value. Also, having one of Starscream's lowest points doesn't help matters either. AKA, he possesses one of the girls in the bathroom and walks out without pulling up her underwear. However, that was all in the first season of the radio drama and subsequent manga. There was a second season that really toned down the rape imagery, rape innuendos, and general skeeviness of the whole thing. But unfortunately, damage had been done and Kiss Players became one of the most, if not the most hated properties in the Transformers franchise. With the only things I can think of that are somewhat liked are the cassette bots, Rosanna and Glit. Well, more so Rosanna than Glit, as Rosanna at least gets a cameo in other continuities but the closest thing outside of being a cameo is the Allspark Almanac, hinting that her animated counterpart is the Decepticon spy, Flipsides. Glit, well, his design is used for Shattered Glass Ravage, who is a meme cat and is virtually the mascot of the wiki. Okay, enough about history. As for changes, the easiest one is making the girls look their age. As for story, I'm going to put Kiss Players in like a G1 related continuity, meaning, yeah, it's not like a sequel to like G1 cartoons like it was originally, but it's kind of like the IDW comics where it's technically a G1 thing, but it's very much in its own universe. Also, make it gay and a Madoka knockoff. As a Madoka knockoff, it changes the genre from shock semi-porn to a dark magical girl series where everyone will probably die, or at the very least, suffer some god-awful consequences that come with being a magical girl, because the asshat giving out the transformation devices and or cute-looking mascot that's actually Satan or something doesn't even bother to tell them, yo, this shit is dangerous, and you could potentially turn into Cthulhu or something if you get too deep into what we're doing. Yeah, this asshat is going to be Shockwave because he's gonna be doing his own shit here, and when Shockwave does his own shit, bad shit happens. Anyway, he creates Rosanna, Glit, and some other guy to fuse with humans in some super convoluted way to take over Cybertron or something like that. And the magical girl transformations are triggered when the mini cassettes get kissed, well, in their alt modes. And they turn into pretty common objects, like, fuck it! I'm making it take place in 2010s, where Madoka and its knockoffs are all the rage, and it just so happens that the Cybertronian War just came to Earth around that time. And something, they're pretty powerful, which leads into being sought out by both sides, something. Oh, and several female Transformers will be involved somehow. Okay, the only one I've worked out would be Elita 1, as she eventually figures out the deal with these girls and tries to protect them, in contrast to Shockwave, who also knows but only wants them to experiment on them. I started off with Marissa, who's the de facto leader of the girls. I kept her brown hair as she has it like everywhere outside of Kiss Players, where she's blonde. This would also keep her civilian identity a secret from, well, most everyone, including several Cybertronians, as the magical girl thing will change her hair and eye color so that nobody would quite recognize who she is. Her civilian outfit would look like a lesbian lumberjack because, hey, that shit is comfortable and functional. And in her normal life, I'm making her like in her early 20s, so she's going to be a college student with a part-time job in retail that, honestly, she hates. And personality-wise, she'd wind up being pretty abrasive, and honestly, kind of a miracle that she somehow made friends with the other two girls. And during the course of the story, she'll suffer from shockwave-induced angst, despite Alita's best efforts to try to protect her and the other girls from it. She's partnered with Rosanna, who, if I do something with the bots that the girls are partnered with, she'll end up with a more red color scheme, which might make her incidentally look like a female version of Rewind. Her magical girl outfit is inspired by her EDC jumpsuit that she wears in various G1 media and toys that are not Kiss Players. But I also went into a superhero spandex look with some various armored bits on her body, and also like the Tron lines to kind of give her a more cybernetic, futuristic look. And I gave her USB gauntlets because I was having trouble with the hands, as usual, and decided, fuck it, USB gauntlets. And then it led to the thought, oh, since they're sought after by other Cybertronians, what if they can be attached to other Cybertronians to either power them up or incapacitate them? Though, considering the girls are against both Decepticons and Autobots, it's more gonna be the latter. Then I thought of a fighting style, which Marissa here would use more hand-to-hand combat and be very aggressive. And in addition to that, if they plug into a Transformer, I also thought of like a benefit that the girls can have, but would come at a terrible price because Motto could knock off. Something terrible has to happen if you use your powers. Yay! With Marissa, if she plugs into a Transformer, her benefit would be that she'd be able to access information, but the side effect is she goes into a frenzy rage that makes her go on a rampage, beating the ever-loving shit out of everything in sight. Friend? Foe? Property? Doesn't matter. If you're in her eyesight, she's gonna beat you up until the rage wears off or you're like super dead and she runs off and punches something else. The explanation would be that the information just really overwhelms her, that she goes into a frenzy. Which, yeah, with shit like that, you could imagine it can turn her into public enemy number one very easily. Oh, and if she's plugged into a Cybertronian for too long, she'll die, but that's just a possible side effect for all the girls. Next is Xiao, who I made wear some black clothes in an attempt to make her look fashionable, as I know jack shit about this stuff. She's a redhead here because dyeing your hair is kinda trendy and she likes to be trendy, which, yeah, her personality winds up being reimagined as a rich bitch with a heart of gold, deep down, and also acts as like a balance between Marissa, the abrasive one, and Atari, the super self-destructive one. Though just because she has a heart of gold, deep down, very deep down, it doesn't mean that she's the friendliest, as she does look down on others, being from a stupid rich family and having enough money to have a consistent wardrobe change and dye her hair. The Cybertronian she's paired with, well, I replaced Sundor with an OC, mostly due to color scheme because I couldn't think of something that would work with Sundor's color scheme. Xiao's magical girl outfit was kind of difficult to come up with, as, yeah, I kind of wanted to go with a somewhat cybernetic, futuristic look for all the magical girl outfits. Yeah, the process here is that I looked into solar punk fashion and came across concept art for like a butterfly wing dress, and well, the gears started turning. Though since there are no butterfly transformers, As far as I know, I went with bats and birds. So yeah, I'm changing what's his name into some bat-bird combination mutant, and I went ham with the feathers and added some batwing elements into the dress and poncho thing to spice up the look. I gave her headphone jack fingernails to also go along with Marissa of, well, having USB gauntlets and continuing the theme of using like plugs as fighting tools. And afterthought, I thought they looked like nemosurgery needles that Chrome Dome and other nemosurgeons typically used in More Than Meets the Eye and other IDW works, which gave me the idea that her fighting style would be a lot more evasive, only striking in areas that could shut off a transformer, with particularly lethal shutdowns being caused when she plugs into either the back of the neck or the top of the head. And the main side effect is that she gets a nasty shock with residual memories from the bot she shut off, and if she kills them, she feels the agony of their death. Yay! Oh hey, those are also the side effects that Chrome Dome is shown suffering from whenever he fingers someone's neck or brain. Lastly is Atari, aka the girl that was involved in Starscream's low point in Kiss Players. In her civilian mode, I changed her the least from her original design, just made her look older and gave her darker hair and shrunk down her glasses. As for an outfit, I just gave her a very simple and conservative outfit that would fit in with her wallflower personality. Oh yeah, she'll be the most self-destructive one and the one who's most likely gonna fall and join in with Shockwave with a high possibility of dying at the midpoint. Because she's the blue one. She'll be by far the worst off, and if I don't decide to increase the cast by like 2 or 3, she winds up shaving down the main cast by a whole third if she dies. So yeah, she is like the inks catalyst of this rewrite, and I haven't decided on if she'll die or not. Anyway, her partner is Shatterglass Glit, and her magical girl outfit is the most inspired by classical magical girl outfit, which incidentally wound up being hard to give more futuristic-y elements to it. So I actually drew inspiration from doll artist Hextian's series of videos where he repaints dolls into the Powerpuff Girls, and there he uses this film stuff as like part of the skirts to kind of actually give the dolls like a more retro futuristic look, and I decided to go in that direction with her dress with like parts of her sleeves and boots being see-through and also part of the upper chest area, and coincidentally it went well with her visor. The blue tips blending into the rest of the hair, yeah, that was because I thought she looked too similar to Hatsune Miku, so darken the tips and some slight mismatching elements to, well, add a bit more asymmetry as a hint of her being a little off-kilter compared to the other girls who have mostly symmetrical designs. But It comes with the side effect of getting some pretty severe burns and any dampener of any healing factor that anyone can provide. And here's all the girls for the fixed Kiss players. If you like this, like, comment, subscribe, support my Patreon, all that jazz. And if you want me to make Starscream a magical girl in the series in a reference to the low point or something similar, let me know. See ya!